Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us take a look at the headlines first. The 102nd session of Indian Science Congress started. The 22nd National Children's Science Congress successfully concluded in Bangalore. Centre invites studies of 20 major river basins in the country. Researchers discover the reason behind discoloration of Taj Mahal. Marine debris damaging coral reefs reveals a new study. And in today's In Depth, we will take a look at significant achievements of science in India throughout the year 2014. And now news in details. The beginning of the year 2015 also marks the beginning of the mega event of Indian science, the Science Congress. The 102nd session of Indian Science Congress is being held at Mumbai starting from 3rd of January. About 1,200 national and international researchers are participating in the event. Here is more.
The mega event of Indian science. The Indian Science Congress was inaugurated at Mumbai on 3rd January. The 102nd session of Indian Science Congress is being organized at Mumbai's Kalina campus from the 3rd to 7th January 2015. The Science Congress was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the presence of Governor of Maharashtra Vidyasagar Rao, Chief Minister of Maharashtra Devendra Fadnavis, Union Minister for Science and Technology Harshvardhan and Human Resource Minister Smriti Irani. The 102nd session of the Indian Science Congress is themed Science and Technology for Human Development. Major scientific institutions like the Indian Space Research Organization and the Defence Research and Development Organization will also be participating in this mega exhibition. In addition to the Science Congress, which consists of main sessions and symposia, Children's Science Congress, Women's Science Congress and the Science Communicators Meet will also be held as parallel events. Participation of Nobel laureates is a special attraction of the event. Almost 7 Nobel laureates, including 2001 Nobel Prize winner in medicine Paul Nurse from London, 2002 Chemistry Nobel Prize winner Kurt Woodridge from Switzerland, 2009 Chemistry Nobel laureate Ada E. Yonath from Israel, 2013 Nobel Prize winner in medicine Randy Schkeman of University of California, Berkeley are expected to participate in the 102nd session of the Science Congress. 2014 Nobel Peace Prize winner Kailash Satyarthi and 2006 Nobel Peace Prize winner Muhammad Yunus of Bangladesh will also be present in the event.
Now, children are nowhere behind sharing the excitements of science. This has been proved by the young students who participated in the 22nd National Children's Science Congress that successfully concluded in Bangalore. Young children presented research papers on the focal theme, Understanding Weather and Climate, and postulated their observations and suggestions. Here is a report.
Taking another crucial step towards inculcating scientific temper among young children, the 22nd National Children's Science Congress concluded successfully in Bangalore on 31st December 2014. Like annually, the Science Congress was organized from 27th till the 31st of December. About 850 students selected from various parts of the country participated in the event. During the 5-day event, about 700 scientific exhibits and experiments were displayed. The students who participated in the event were selected after intense competition and scrutiny at the state level. National Children's Science Congress is an annual event that provides the children of the ages of 10 to 17 years a platform to exhibit their creativity and scientific skills. National Science Congress aims to provide a forum to the young scientists to pursue their natural curiosity and to quench their thirst for creativity by experimenting on open-ended problems. Since its conception, National Science Congress has been contributing towards encouraging young children throughout the country to visualize the future of the nation and help building generation of sensitive and responsible citizens. The program is a crucial step towards stimulating scientific temperament and learning the scientific methodology of observation, collection of data, experiment analysis, arriving at conclusions and presenting the findings.
The government has proposed a study to understand the impact of climate change on water systems. In this context, the National Water Mission has invited proposals from major research institutions to undertake studies on 20 major river basins in the country.
As we have been discussing in the past several episodes through different stories, climate change is emerging as a huge and critical concern worldwide. Climate change is affecting almost all the natural systems. Concerned about the effects of climate change on water systems, the government is planning to start a new scientific study. It is also observed that there is a decline in total runoff of all river projects except for the Narmada and Tapti. In this context, under the National Water Mission, proposals have been invited from premier research institutions. The proposal has been invited from knowledge institutions like the Indian Institutes of Technologies and the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, to undertake studies on 20 major river basins in the country. According to the sources, the impact of climate change on the water systems will be studied using downscaled global climate models. The studies are expected to be commissioned shortly and are predicted to take between 6 months to 2 years for completion. 6 IITs and IISc will be involved in the project, which will provide valuable inputs to policy decisions and adaptation measures. The National Water Mission has 5 goals. The National Water Mission focuses on critical areas like depleting groundwater and is undertaking aquifer mapping and flood management with a focus away from structural measures like building embankments and instead working with communities for preparedness. The mission has already set up a comprehensive database called the Water Resources Information System in partnership with the National Remote Sensing Agency, which is updated every 6 months. The mission has also signed an MOU with the National Institute of Rural Development and other agencies for this purpose.
Climate change is affecting every aspect of our lives. Taj Mahal, one of the world's wonders and India's glorious pride, is also under the grips of climate change and pollution. Now, in a new study, researchers have discovered the pollutants that cause discoloration of marble that makes up Taj Mahal. Here is more.
Taj Mahal is a monument synonymous to the glorious architecture of India. However, the discoloration of the marble that makes up the Taj has been a matter of concern among archaeologists and historians. Now, a study conducted by the Department of Civil Engineering and Center for Environmental Science and Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, has identified the exact pollutants that cause the discoloration of marble. Researchers involved in the study have identified that particulate carbon and fine dust particles present in the atmosphere when deposited on the marble cause browning. Researchers conducted the study using air samples collected from the area and marble samples on the building to collect the pollutants. They also undertook computer modeling to study the color change brought about by reflectance of the particles. After detailed analysis, they have concluded that discoloration is an outcome of change in reflectance, and reflectance is in turn influenced by particulate matter like carbon and dust. The organic carbon is very sticky and is of 2 types, namely black carbon and light-absorbing organic carbon or brown carbon. They are produced from burning of biomass like wood and dung and burning of trash and crop residue. While they both selectively absorb blue light, the black carbon produces a greyish discoloration and brown carbon and dust produce yellowish-brown hues. The results of this study has been published in the journal Environmental Science and Technology. The results are likely to lead to novel restoration steps based on this knowledge.
Last week, we saw how the increasing plastic debris floating in the world's oceans is proving deadly to aquatic organisms and birds. This marine debris is also proving fatal to the sensitive coral reefs around the world's oceans. A new study by the researchers of National Institute of Oceanography explores the harmful effects of marine debris on coral reefs.
While last week we saw how studies show that the world's oceans are fast becoming dump sites of plastic waste, an alarming fact now reveals that the increasing marine debris are rapidly destroying coral reefs. Marine debris like plastic, glass, metal, rubber, abandoned fishing nets and other gear often get entangled and kill reef organisms and break or damage them, as stated by Dr. Mahua Saha, senior scientist from the National Institute of Oceanography. Dr. Saha expressed this concern while addressing representatives of SAARC nations during the recent workshop held at Port Blair, Andaman for SAARC Coastal Zone Management Center. The policymakers from 4 SAARC countries, that is India, Bangladesh, the Maldives and Sri Lanka, participated in the event. The accumulation and damaging effects of marine debris has been observed to be the highest in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands because of their central location in the North Pacific Gyre. According to Dr. Saha, from 2000 to 2006, NOAA and partners have removed over 500 tons of marine debris from this area. Dr. Saha also pointed out that according to the World Resource Institute, Washington, the Southeast Asian coral reef, including the Indian Ocean, are in high risk in terms of human activities. The percentage of inland pollution and marine pollution is also very high in these regions. Known as rainforests of the sea, coral reefs are built by colonies of tiny marine organisms and are important underwater ecosystems. Human activities that lead to marine pollution in various ways drastically and very adversely affect these ecosystems.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Science Monitor. As the year 2014 ended, we take a look at the global achievements in science during 2014 during the last week. The year 2014 has also been highly productive for Indian science, progressing along these lines. Let us see the major achievements of India in the field of science and technology during 2014 in today's In Focus.
While in last week's In Focus we saw the scientific achievements of 2014 in the international arena, this week we focus on India's contributions to the field of science and technology. The year 2014 has been a progressive year for India in terms of science and technology. Many decisive steps were taken and Indian researchers partook in many major scientific contributions, most importantly in the field of space science and technology. Let us see some of the major achievements of Indian science in 2014. The year started with Indian Space Research Organisation (ISRO) launching its geostationary satellite GSAT-14. The satellite was launched from Sriharikota using GSLV-D5 launch vehicle. Following ISRO's feat, India, taking a major step towards strengthening its defense applications, tested the Prithvi 2 missile at Chandipur test range and launched the Agni 4 missile. Polio, also known as infantile paralysis, had been a dreaded disease in the country. Caused by the poliomyelitis virus, the infection often results in inflammation of the central nervous system, leading to muscular weakness and permanent paralysis. With the objective of eradicating polio, the Government of India launched a large-scale immunization program called the Pulse Polio Campaign in 1995-96 that involved vaccination of all children under the age of 5 years against poliovirus. In February, India achieved a major milestone in universal healthcare and polio eradication. After several years of revised programs and well-coordinated efforts, India successfully completed 3 years without reporting any case of polio and was certified as polio-free on 11 February 2014 by the World Health Organization (WHO). The year 2014 was alive with huge public debates concerning the pros and cons of genetically modified food. At the end of many debates and brainstorming, India's Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee finally reapproved field trials of 10 genetically modified crops in March. Some major crops which were approved for field trials includes rice, wheat, maize, cotton and sorghum. In 2014, India successfully put in place the indigenously developed Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, shortly known as IRNSS Navigational System, comprising 7 satellites. IRNSS is designed to provide accurate position information services to users within the country and up to 1500 km from the nation's boundary line. The system is expected to provide a position accuracy of better than 20 meters in the primary service area. Adding yet another proud moment to India's glorious history of space research, ISRO on 30th June successfully launched the PSLV-C-23 rocket carrying 5 foreign satellites from 4 countries. The Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV-C-23 was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, carrying the French Earth Observation Satellite Spot 7, which was its primary payload, along with the 14 kg ISAT satellite of Germany, NLS 7.1 CanX-4 and NLS 7.2 CanX-5 satellites of Canada, and the Velox 1 satellite of Singapore. PSLV-C-23 precisely placed all the 5 satellites into their intended orbits, thus opening up novel avenues of collaboration in space research. In the same month, the Major Atmospheric Cherenkov Experiment Telescope, shortly known as MACE, was flagged off to its destination, Hanel in the Ladakh region. MACE telescope has been developed indigenously by the Bhabha Atomic Research Center in collaboration with Electronics Corporation of India Limited. The 21-meter diameter MACE telescope, designed to perform under extreme weather conditions, is the second largest gamma-ray telescope in the world. The telescope will be fully operational by early 2016.
While 2015 dawns, the world also mourns the departure of many researchers who made important contributions to science and made the world a better place to live in. In this special segment, we pay our tributes to some of the scientists who bid farewell to us in the year 2014.
Another year has dawned with new hopes and new expectations. While researchers across the world continuously strive to achieve larger technological feats, the world in 2014 also saw the sad demise of many researchers who made important contributions to science. These researchers, through their expertise and perseverance, not only advanced the existing knowledge but also applied their knowledge to make the world a better place to live in. It is only most appropriate that we dedicate this special segment in memory of some of those outstanding scientists who bid farewell to us in 2014. February 6, Alison Joly, who discovered that females dominate social hierarchy in lemurs. March 1, Alejandro Zaffaroni, who launched companies that develop birth control pills, microarrays and transdermal drug patches. April 15, John C. Hubalt, an engineer whose contributions to the US space program were vital to NASA's successful moon landing in 1969. May 4, Jean-Claude Bradley, the chemist known as the father of the open notebook science movement. May 10, Dr. Andres Carrasco, an Argentinian neuroscientist who challenged pesticide regulators to re-examine one of the world's most widely used weed killers. May 12, Melvin Glimcher, inventor of the prosthetic Boston arm, which moves in response to electrical signals from the wearer. May 12, Dr. Jacinto Convet, who played a key role in fighting 2 of the world's most feared diseases, leprosy and leishmaniasis. May 16, Clyde Snow, a forensic anthropologist who worked on cases ranging from the assassination of President John F. Kennedy to mass graves in Argentina. June 24, Carlos Barbers III, renowned organic chemist. July 5, Peter Mahler, best known for his groundbreaking work on birdsong. July 17, Yep Lang, an infectious disease specialist who dedicated his career to HIV/AIDS research. August 5, Yoshiki Sasai, prominent organogenesis researcher. August 6, J. Woodland Hastings, who first theorized about quorum sensing in the late 1960s. August 11, Dame Julia Pollack, who pioneered lung tissue engineering techniques. September 5, Noel Hinners, a former chief scientist for NASA who helped plan the scientific exploration of the moon for the Apollo program and later oversaw projects such as the Mars Surveyor program. September 30th, Martin Pearl, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist from Stanford University who discovered a subatomic particle known as the tau lepton. October 24, Alison Dope, a neuroscientist known for her work exploring the neural mechanisms of learning. October 26, Katrina Edwards, whose research focused on discovering life beneath the ocean floor. November 4, S. Donald Stuckey, inventor of coring ware, a durable, heat-resistant ceramic glass used since the 1950s to make millions upon millions of baked lasagnas, tuna casseroles and other potluck dinner dishes. November 17, Willy Burgdorfer, the medical entomologist who first found the bacterium that causes Lyme disease. November 21st, Fred Kavli, the philanthropist who launched a foundation to support science research and award prizes of $1 million to scientists. December 6, Ralph Baer, the video game pioneer who created both the precursor to Pong and the electronic memory game Simon and led the team that developed the first home video game console. December 15, Donald Metcalfe, whose discoveries transformed cancer treatment.
And what are the contributions of science to this week's history? We shall learn in our next segment, History of Science.
Renowned Swedish scientist and Nobel Prize winner Rolf Martin Zinckernagel was born on 6th of January 1944. Along with Peter C. Doherty, he discovered the immune system based on T cells. According to them, T cells help in finding infected cells in the body. Killer T cells destroy those infected cells so that the viruses can't reproduce. 7th January 1902 is the birthday of Gerald M. Durrell, who was an English naturalist and animal lover. Durrell encouraged not only the conservation of endangered species but also their captive breeding. For the purpose of breeding, Durrell would keep the animals in a small farmhouse, then in a zoo and later release them in the forest for their complete development. Considered one of the greatest scientists of the world, British physicist Stephen William Hawking was born on 8 January 1942. According to Hawking's prediction, radiation emitted from a black hole assimilates into it. This principle is also called Birkenstein-Hawking radiation. This happens because of quantum effects of gravitational force. Through this theory, it has been explained as to how black holes could vanish completely in future. On 9th January 1922, American biochemist of Indian origin Dr. Hargobind Khurana was born. Khurana not only solved the nucleotide sequence present in RNA, that is ribonucleic acid, but also found out their genetic code. Dr. Khurana was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1969 for his discovery, along with 2 other scientists.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us, how do you like our program? You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned and think scientific.